But I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready?
The kick is away, and the kick is... It's gone! And the Eagles win!
This is that dream I talked about.
They win!
He's had this dream before.
61 yards! The longest kick in Eagles history!
What's up, Philadelphia? Broadcasting from the beautiful new media studios right outside of Philadelphia. Welcome to the 2017 Week 4 edition of the 4th and JAWN podcast. A podcast in which, by the way, we are about three things. Beer bongs, kicking long balls, and singing Eagles fight songs, baby. And your 2017 Philadelphia Eagles are 2-1. We can call them that. We can call them our Philadelphia Eagles. But I want everybody listening right now to remind all the other fans in the NFC East that as of right now, you can refer to them as the NFC East leading Philadelphia Eagles until further notice. Odell Beckham Jr. might have been crawling into the end zone and lifting his leg to pee, but all he was doing was pissing away the hopes and dreams of New York Giants fans. What a kick! What a game! What a tailgate! What a fucking weekend. I want to turn it over to my man over here to my left, who is partying with us at Lincoln Financial Field, going nuts over there at Lincoln Financial Field, Mr. Eagle Sessions, Gale Saunders.
Yeah, Sunday was a culmination of blood, sweat, and tears.
A lot of sweat.
The crowd was ready. It was opening day, man. And I can't believe it, man. We got this win. It was a gigantic win. This kind of game can give you the momentum to build into further wins. And first and foremost, let's talk about some of these depth players. Your team is only as good as your depth. I can roll off players like Patrick Robinson, Russell Douglas, Michael Kendricks, Jalen Mills. Guys coming up making play. Corey Clement. Jake Elliott. These are guys that are like third stringers making plays. And at the end of the day, that's what you need to get a team win. And we got a big team win.
Third stringers.
Rookies.
Mid-round picks. Guys they picked up in the off. Cast-offs.
Yeah.
And yet they come together for the most complete team win. That wasn't on the back of any one individual player. Although, Mr. Jake Elliott. Yeah, goddamn right it is. I think that ball just landed somewhere in the middle of Citizens Bank Park. What a kick. I'm going to kick it off to my man over here, Philly Mike, running the social media accounts for 4th and JAWN podcast. What is up, my man?
I got to let this out. Ah! What a freaking game. The 61-yarder, I don't know about you guys, but I had goosebumps. I had nothing but goosebumps the past 3 days. When I'm up there freaking cheering myself off, I guess we could say, at work, I was watching reaction videos of the field goal, and every single video I saw was just nothing but goosebumps. But also, you guys could hook us up at 4th and JAWN on Twitter, Facebook.com/4th and JAWN, and at 4th and JAWN Instagram.
And my man running the soundboard, coming up fourth, it's the dude Evan Bubblegum Ear. How are you, sir?
How about those fucking birds, baby?
How about them fucking birds, baby?
Oh, my God. How often are we on the other side of luck there? Where a game just fucking falls through the cracks, we come back, and then fucking it just gets taken out from under us. It was good to be on the good side of luck this time. And I am not coming away from this game angry like a lot of Eagles fans. I saw a lot of things that I saw were promising in this game, and I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, when you walk away a W is a W.
How could you be upset after that?
Listen, I'll never understand the we won but crowd. All right? Was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. Did it get sloppy at times? Yeah, it got sloppy. Were we all clenching our assholes at the end there? You bet you we were all puckered up. Ooh. But at the end, a W is a W is a W is a
W.
You're goddamn right it is. And speaking of being on the other side of luck, we have Doug Peterson there after the game who spoke on it.
Let me just tell you something. Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little story.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Last year, we weren't so fortunate
in
these types of games, right? So what I'm saying is you guys have learned how to fight to the end, figure out a way to win a football game against a fine football team. We knew exactly what this is going to be about. It was going to be a 4-quarter battle. You never gave up. Defense, you kept the offense in the game. Special teams, right? We said both this week. You keep both sides in the game. Offense, great job. We went down, we tied it, got the field goal at the end. Where's Mr. Elliott at?
The rich man. Where's my money? Where's my money, Carson?
That gives you a little glimpse of where we can go. Great job, man. So proud of you guys. Great job. Great job.
1, 2. Say it with your
What a
chest.
game! Did you love it? What a game!
Absolutely. And last week, I gave you guys 5 things that I thought the Eagles needed to tweak, not fix, but tweak on the offense in order to be successful against the New York Giants. First and foremost, it was seeing more LeGarrette Blount. LeGarrette Blount carried the ball 12 times for 67 yards and a touchdown, a 5.58 average. They were running the ball. They needed to stick to the run game. They ran 73 plays. 39 of them were rushes, and most came in the first half. They had 19 run yards, 15 pass plays to gain the lead, to get that first initial touchdown. So excuse me, I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to get up on my soapbox for a second because I posted that graphic. Gail, you remember this. I posted that graphic about runs and winning percentage. And most people said to me, oh, you only run to maintain the lead. Oh, that's so skewed. That's the most inaccurate stat, even though it's the basic runs-win ratio. Well, there it is. You run the ball more than 25 times a game, and the Eagles have a winning record. So all those people that were in my mentions about, hey, listen, it doesn't matter if they run. It doesn't matter if they run. Well, you know what? Find yourself a comfortable chair. Take a fucking seat. Am I right, Gail?
You are. I mean, you got to get these offensive linemen putting chest to chest, get them fired up, get them something. They gotta be alive here. You know, they're making back-to-back runs with LeGarrette Blount, eating people up. DRC's getting run over. The whole stadium is pumped up because we're finally seeing the run game. We just have to be worried about Doug being his worst enemy. Just fire up the run game. Fire up the run game, and everything else will work itself out. In the third quarter, I was looking at the time of possession.
Yes, sir. It
was almost double. So, I mean, that's what we need to do. You know, limit the hits on Carson Wentz, and let them guys make plays.
And the hits on Carson Wentz, I mean, we are coming up, and we're going to touch on the Chargers a little bit more in depth. But we're coming against the team. We have to fly out to the West Coast for a 4 p.m. game, all right? Anytime you go out to the West Coast, it's a little bit more of a burden, okay? They got 2 really good bookend pass rushers. Carson Wentz right now is, well, first of all, the Chargers only gave up 4 sacks. I'm looking for my Carson Wentz stat. The Eagles have given up 11 sacks, 4th most in the NFL.
He's on pace to get sacked 59 times.
Eagles have given up 23 quarterbacks hits, 6th most in the NFL. So, again, going back to the run game, this is what's going to make it important because Carson didn't have his best game on Sunday. Far from it. He didn't play bad. He didn't play great. But if you leaned on him the way you leaned on him in Kansas City, we're having a completely different show today. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So speaking of the game and how lit it was, you know it was only a matter of time before we talk about the tailgate. I want to give a shout out to everybody who showed up to the tailgate. We absolutely balled out. We had views from the sky, taking a view of parking lot F1, the whole thing. And if you took away all the banners, if you took away all, the logos and everything, it was obvious from space where the 4th and JAWN tailgate was. Because there were so many people there. It was amazing. We were partying. In the heat. We were maybe getting a little too rowdy. You know what I mean? But it was such an amazing atmosphere.
Yeah, a big shout out to Yards Brewing Company for blessing the tailgate with the suds. People were drinking up, having a good time. Maybe a little bit too much fun.
A little bit.
Crazy. Somebody hurled.
Two people.
To be nameless. Two people hurled.
I know one person, but I'm not going to name him on the show. I'm not going to put him on the spot like that, though.
I think one of them might be a caller.
One of them's a caller, yes.
But we had not only the regular faces like Classic Jeff, like Hood Rat, like Stites, like, come on, help me out here.
We got people from
DC
Canada,
Darryl,
DC.
DC Darryl. We had newcomers,
Terran
right?
Gonzo.
Terran Gonzo, all the way out from Washington. Puga was in from San Antonio.
Piccolo
Was in from
Our
LA.
boy Piccolo.
By the way, crushed the music video. All right, that was amazing in the parking lot. Thank you to everybody that participated in that. Let's get back to the game, because I think it was Evan. You touched on it earlier about sort of the negative Nancy's out there, kind of just happy to be fucking miserable on a Monday or a Tuesday.
You know what I came away from this game feeling?
What's that?
What feels better? The fact that we're 2-0 in the division, or the fact that the Giants are 0-3. 0-3. Before we're even a quarter of the way into the season, their season's fucking over. They completely retooled their team this year. They were thinking they were going to win the division, and they're fucking out. It's great. I'm ecstatic.
But you know what's a shocker, though? At least to me, the Redskins are 2-1. They're right there with us in the Cowboys. Is that a little bit of a shocker to you guys? It is to me.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
You're not?
Nah, I'm not shocked. I mean, the NFC East is a decent division besides the Giants, but
What's most enjoyable, and yes, it would have capped off an incredible weekend had the Cowboys lost to the Arizona Cardinals. But you look at that Denver game, and then you look at the first half against the Arizona Cardinals. Dare I say,
felt a little.
The book is out on the Dallas Cowboys because Denver wrote it. Arizona was playing by it. They were just not good enough to complete the job. But Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott getting shut down for the majority of that game.
And Dez.
Dez
is looking pedestrian.
And, I was taking a look earlier today. I threw it up on Twitter. I was taking a look at the quarterback ratings of all the three quarterbacks for the first three games of the season. Kirk Cousins at a 105.3 quarterback rating. Yeah. A little surprising, right?
No, he's been playing well.
He's been playing well. But
he wants that money.
Yeah.
Right, he's going to get that money,
He wants that money
either way. But you would think, like, with the losses of his two outside receivers, his tight end being banged up, question marks on the run game, the Redskins are kind of surprising me a little bit.
Yeah.
You know who's been balling out is Christian Thomas for them.
Yeah.
He's been big in the passing game.
Guys just keep going down, though. Robert Kelly's out again, too, right?
Yep.
Carson Wentz comes in next at a 90.3 quarterback rating. He's the most consistent of all the quarterbacks. Because while you got Kirk Cousins had 150 quarterback rating his last game, and Dak Prescott had 141.7. I mean, Carson Wentz, averaging 90.3, has had a 96.8, an 83, and 92.9. He's being consistent.
He is. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
That stat doesn't include a quarterback keeping a play alive, does it?
No, because Carson Wentz.
Out of all the other quarterbacks in the NFC East, he is the number one at keeping a play alive, having eyes in the back of his head, being able to escape the pocket. I really think he's the most aware quarterback that is in the division.
He is aware. And he has a good weapon in Zach Ertz, who's
the safety blanket.
Balling right now.
He's balling, and he's also falling.
When he's not
But he's also fumbling as well. His clutch gene is might be a little lacking. The yak clutch gene.
He tried to get too much. He tried to do too much work, get too much yak, and he ended up hacking.
He tries
the
to
ball
break
up.
a tackle.
But he has been moving the chains, though.
He has.
He's the leading receiver or leading tight end in general in the whole division.
He's second in the NFC in receptions.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
21.
But
He's
again,
probably the most targeted guy in the NFC too.
28 targets.
Yeah.
But again, it was a complete team win, top to
It
bottom.
was. It
Just
was.
going through these quarterback ratings, 105.3 for Cousins. Wentz comes in next at 90.3. Eli Manning at an 89.9. As dreadful as they've been. Guess who comes in last?
One Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, 89.9. Oh, that offensive line. Oh, those weapons. The Dak attack.
Where are the Dak riders?
Now listen, we're next show because every team should grade their teams based upon a 4-game sample size, right? A quarter of the season over. So next week we're going to turn in our NFC East report cards.
Quarterly summary.
I like that. We're going to call it the 4th and John quarterly summary. I like that a lot. But let's address the big elephant in the room, and then we're gonna take your phone calls pretty quick because I guarantee you these phone boards are going to be lit up like crazy. The number to call in, Michael.
215-515-2924.
Yes, a number that I will never, ever, 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 ever remember. I lost one of my sheets, too. Okay, there it is. The elephant in the room, 4th and 8. Just speak on it because they've been speaking on it for the last 2 days. All these negative Nancys who are just these miserables who are just happy to fucking bitch and moan even though they won. Just speak on it.
What I felt was Doug was feeling himself. Doug got did the 2 4th downs that he converted happen before that, and then he tried the 4th and 8 or the 1. I know he got definitely at least.
Well, he was 2 for 3 on 4th down.
At that, yes. And the 1 was that.
And the 1 was that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think he was feeling himself from the first 2, but it's not the same thing when it's a quarterback sneak and you got to move it a few inches versus 8 yards. And, oh, by the way, you're up 7 and you're going into the half.
I think it was because also the offense was flowing a little bit on that drive. And Ike Reese was kind of touching it a lot today. He was going nuts on WIP. He was saying that the offense was flowing so well, he wanted to give it a shot. Just give it a shot. Even though the analytics stuff is in the favor, but Ike Reese even agreed to even do the 4th and 8, and I'm kind of with him on that because the offense was flowing a little bit. Look
at Gail's face.
I wish I could have got a meme for that one.
Say it with your chest, kid.
What you got to say without your chest?
No, I mean, everyone was just celebrating the win, but when you go back and look at it, you're like, 4th and 8, really, Doug?
Yeah.
What do we do? Is Madden? So what are we doing here? You feeling yourself? You got an analytics guy from Yale?
Yeah, that definitely had me bothered.
After the game, I was celebrating, went party with my family, and my aunt, she's in her 60s. I don't want to put her age out there, but I did. But she's like, baby, fix yourself a plate. You had a good time at the game? What the hell is Doug Peterson doing going for 4th and 8? I can't believe this guy. I mean, everybody is questioning that call. I mean, granted, he had this was a bad call. He did make some good calls down the way.
He did. I have to admit, I was sitting up in 225, and I see the kicking team standing on the side looking at Doug, and I see the rest of the offense looking to the sidelines, and I started screaming, "Fucking go for it, Dougie! Fucking go for it! That's right, Big Dick Doug! Yeah, here he comes!" And then all of a sudden they line up, and I'm like, "Wait, this is wrong with you?" Yeah, I'm like, "This is fucking stupid. What are we doing here?" Jimmy Kempski had a fantastic article written about it and how. In the end, listen, it was W, but in the end, was it that big of a deal? They have this robot, right? The what do they call it? The 4th down bot that tells you statistically when you should go for it and when you shouldn't, specifically inside of enemy territory.
When did a robot become part of football, man?
Listen,
Isn't it all about
dude.
the field, the game?
But weren't you guys feeling the D? You're feeling the defense.
I think we just got a new sound drop for the board.
Isolate that. Isolate that.
I'm saying the defense was
Mark
playing
that
well.
down.
You back them up, have them coming out the goal line, down by the goal line. I mean, that's what you should have done.
Yeah.
I mean, it was right by the end of the half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should have backed them
But
all
what
the
was
way
the
up.
point if we punted there? If we didn't go for the 4th and 8, what was the point
You
of
still
punting?
get 3 downs, get the ball back.
Come on. 4th down bot. Whatever the fuck that is. All right. Says even on its chart says kick because it shows you the percentages of being successful, right? And then it also shows you a graphic of what NFL teams actually do, and it's far less. We've heard for a couple years now about going for it on 4th down in enemy territory and how NFL teams should do it more frequently. Granted, by this chart it says the kick. It was a 33% chance of working. Don't ask me how they know this. Kempski verified it. The Eagles' statistical analytics team already had it, 33%. So you have to weigh it. If you kick it from there, on average, you will give up or basically pushing back 31 yards. It's 31 yards, or if you get the first down, it's points. It's either a field goal or a touchdown.
I was going to say, what would a field goal have been there? Like 80 yards? Elliott probably could have hit that, right?
He can hit it from space. That's how, if they ever bomb North Korea, they're not going to send missiles. They're just going to have Jake Elliott line up in Los Angeles and just boot balls all the way to fucking just boot bombs all the way to North Korea. He's the greatest national weapon that we have is fucking Jake Elliott, who.